Welcome to Wealth Building Wednesday, brought to you by TRHT Selma, a collaboration between the Black Belt Community Foundation and the Selma Center for Nonviolence. Every single week, we push back against America's growing wealth gap by giving you real tools to move from work to wage to wealth. I am your host, Lydia Chapman, and it is my pleasure to be with you every week talking all things wealth with experts and entrepreneurs from all across the country. Tonight, we are joined by Requita Brewer, owner of Luxury Elite Solutions. She is a leader helping everyday people build business credit, secure funding, and to step into financial momentum, honey. Yes, let's catch the wave. Yes. Get ready for clarity, courage, and actionable steps. So you got to grab your notebook for this one again. Look, just like last week, we got to have our notebook ready. Pull your chair up. Let's build. Welcome, Mrs. Brewer. How are you doing? Did she hear me? Hello. Oh, yep, she's coming in on the phone. Well, while we are having technical difficulties, I do want to encourage each and every one of you out. If you missed last week's episode, I want you to go back and check out the episode we had last week. I still have got to go drop those notes in the chat, and I am recording this interview so that we can go ahead and make sure that the notes are in the chat. Listen here, because when I'm listening to the experts, it is hard for me to stop and type. And so I want to make sure that that we have the notes in the chat. So if you are driving along or if you are in Bible study and you can't turn us up, right, that you can go back and refer to the chat. So Mrs. Brewer, welcome. Can you hear me? I know that we were lagging earlier. The internet, we were having some difficulties. Can you hear me?
I am having trouble connecting.
We can hear you.
Hi.
Yes.
I am lagging. But I am happy to be here.
Yes. And we are grateful to have you join us today. Wanted to give you a chance, if you will, to just kind of introduce yourself to the audience.
You can't hear me?
I can hear you now. I was just saying that we would love it if you could introduce yourself to the audience. Yes, I think that's going to work better because I can.
Yes, because my computer is lagging. So I'm going to close out on my computer.
Okay.
And we're going to stick with the cell phone.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So yes, welcome again. Yes, your camera is fine. We can see you. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, awesome.
Y'all, and she is a good look. She is not just super smart. She's gorgeous. So yeah.
Thank you. Yes, same to you.
Absolutely. And you are really a beautiful person. And so when I've been seeing you make a lot of posts on social media, sharing some really great tips for folks, especially as we head into the holiday season and folks are shopping like for cars and things like that. So I was like, listen, I got to get you on Wealth Building Wednesday. So thank you so much for taking time out today. If you don't mind just kind of introducing yourself to the folks and just let folks know who you are.
Yes, but first I want to give it back to you on an amazing job that you are doing in our area, in the Black Belt area, and hosting these type of events on Wednesdays, talking about wealth building and just in our community. I really appreciate you. You always been a star, and I appreciate you for having me on today.
Absolutely.
Um,
Thank you.
Yes. So my name is Requita Nicole. I am from Selma, the historic Selma, Alabama. I moved to Florida about 5 years ago. When I moved to Florida about 5 years ago, I started somewhere new. So it was new to me, born and raised in Selma and being there all my life. I really love this area, but I always wanted to be able to come back and do things for my city, the place that I was born and raised in. So I always, that is why I, give it want to be here today, to be able to give knowledge to my community and people that are following me, and then also that is tuning in on us tonight.
Awesome. So now what led you into the financial services industry? What's your why?
Well, my why is about 2 years ago.
Mhm.
I ran into a situation where I had a problem with my son.
Okay.
If you don't know, this is my first time ever speaking about this publicly, but my son, he got into some trouble and today he's in prison.
Mhm.
He been locked up 2 years, and 2 years ago, the situation happened where I didn't know where to turn, and he got into a financial situation. I had to really try to get my things together in order to save my kids. My daughter was going off to college. My
Mhm.
son needed lawyers to be able to help him get out the trouble that he got in. And I was like, my 9 to 5 wasn't cutting it. So I knew I needed to get me some extra income.
Yeah.
I needed to start working on my credit, tried to get a loan, got denied. And I was like, I'm at my age now where I need to do better and try to learn better. Because coming from when growing up in my community and my household, credit was something that was never taught to me.
Right.
So that is some reason why I got into, that is my why, being able to be financially stable for my kids, being able to teach others while I learn the same thing. So that is my why.
That's awesome. And I want to just pause for a second and say thank you for your willingness to share your why. And to be in depth about that, because that is really like your story is not unlike many of us. Just the fact that you say, like, honey, we don't, a lot of Black folks, especially, we don't grow up talking about money management. We don't grow up talking about credit. We don't grow up talking about the dangers of credit cards and student loans and things like that. So the fact that life has drawn you into this area, is actually turning out to be a blessing, because your son is going to be okay. you know
Yes.
your
Yes.
son is going to be okay, and you are better positioning not just yourself, girl, but you are better positioning a whole lot of people to make
Thank
sure
you.
that we are making better financial decisions. So now I know that one of your messages to folks is business credit is greater than personal credit. And so for someone with little business history and like really modest, like um let's say like we in the 500s, right? Maybe low 600s personal credit. What is the first step, or what are the first steps to establishing the right business structure so people can have access to business credit?
Thank you for answering asking that question. I have people that come to me all the time, want to know about funding, how can they build their credit, want to, be able to get lines of credit. But I always tell them you have to start with your personal credit.
Okay.
Even though they tell you business credit and personal business credit is separate from personal credit, they go hand in hand. So you can't start you can start building business credit, but if in order to get funding, you got to be able to have your personal credit together, because
Okay.
the lenders want to know, are you reliable? Can we loan you 10, 50, $60,000? So they're going to check your personal credit to see how your payment history is. So a lot of lenders, they would not lend to anyone unless you have at least a 680 credit score.
Okay.
If you do have a credit score that is lower than a 680, you got to be bringing in at least 20,000 or more a month on the biz, in your business, to be able to get a lender to lend you that type of money. So once you get your personal credit to where you want it to be at, you can lock your personal credit and live off your business credit. And for to be able to structure it, you got to
Mhm.
have a strong start structuring it strong. As
Okay.
far as you, well, I tell people, and I see this lady talking on Instagram about businesses having a bonnet on. You don't want to show up in the bank with your business with a bonnet on.
Okay.
My light fell. But you don't want to show up in there with your business with a button on. And the reason why I say that is because people will have their emails with Gmails, Hotmail. You got sexyt dot at gmail.com. You want to be able to structure your business from A to Z. As far
Yeah.
as you want to get a domain,
Okay.
so you want to start with info at luxuryleap.com, not a Gmail.
Okay.
Whenever you're doing your business address, you don't want a home address for your business. So you want to be able to go in, get you a virtual address. So when you get your virtual address, you just look up virtual address. You could get my physical, you could have different just go to virtual address, get you a virtual address so your business is not showing up at your front door. You can also attain business telephone numbers. You could get business emails, your website. Then you want to get form your LLC and get your EIN. So that's where you want to start. So I'm gonna say that again. You want to get your business email. You want to get your business a website. You want to get your business telephone number, and then you want to get your LLC and your EIN.
So now I'm glad that you mentioned the email, because you're absolutely right. I've seen folks, and there are folks that still do that, that use Gmail or like you said, Hotmail or Yahoo for their business emails. And it's super important that those things are changed. But the physical address, you said a virtual mailing address. So how does that work?
So the virtual mailing address, you look up virtual address.
Hmm.
So a virtual mailing address may be a business that have like different suites, and they'll be able to rent it to you every month for a little of $9.99, saying that your business is located there. So when you look that business up, it's actual a business that you could get your mail coming there, and they will forward it over to you. So your your personal information is not public to view. You could also use a UPS store. You could use any like office, what home, like a what is Office Depot or something like that. You could
Hmm.
also use those for business addresses.
And so that's good to know, because if it's our personal address, like you said, that puts your information on blast.
Hmm.
And technology being what it is, honey, people can type that in and see your front door.
Right.
Let's be
Right.
clear. Okay. So great, great, great tips. Again, I am recording this, so it's gonna make it easier for me to drop the notes in the chat. I'm also trying to drop things in the chat as you're talking. Also, wanted to ask you though about your business is called Luxury Elite Solutions. And you recruit and actually train brokers for your team. So when you are looking for, you talked about your why, but what are the characteristics that you are looking for in someone who could probably succeed in the financial services industry? And how can you help them, or how do you help them translate that into income and wealth?
So with my business name is Luxury Elite Solutions,
Mhm.
but I run my business through a company called Freedom Path. We're based out of Alabama. So with my business, I partner with them, and I get a 1099 for my business. So it's a partnership. I'm able to have my own personal website with them. I'm able to have my own back office with them. I'm able to get people funding. I'm able to help with personal loans. I'm able to help you do card stacking, build business credit, get business funding, all through their website and their profile. So when I have a client, I don't even have to deal with paperwork. I have a business in a box, actually. So, but I base it off my personal business, but I partner with Freedom Path. And what I look for with anybody could be a broker, but you have to be coachable. You have to be consistent. Consistency is in anything that you do, anything that you do. So even if you want to cut hair, anything you do in life, you have to be consistent. I always tell people you got to have faith. You're gonna want to get up because give up sometime because entrepreneurship is hard, but you got to be able to keep going.
Amen.
You got to have that hunger for change. And you got to be able to have good communication skills. You got to be willing to learn and serve for yourself and your community. I teach my brokers to leverage our tools and training software. You earn income immediately. Like you sign up today, you can start making money today. While you with my brokers, it's a long-term wealth goal because you're able to earn residual income. That's sleep money. And you, by referring and building a team, you don't even have to build a team, but I like building teams because I like giving people the same opportunity that was gave to me.
Yes.
So you can reach more people by building a team. But in this company, you're able to have residual income, and that's the income that everybody should be trying to grab,
I noticed.
get that residual.
And so, for folks who are unfamiliar with that term, she also referred to it as sleep money. Now, that just simply means that money that can be made while you are asleep. So,
Right.
residual comes just naturally because you set up the systems. You've been consistent, right? You're
Mhm.
attracting new clients, and in kind of in the background, you're making money.
Right.
Yeah.
And while you making that residual, you still making your commission. So
Okay.
your residual is gonna come every month, even if you don't get any clients or not.
Okay.
And that's the goal, to be able to make that residual income. We go up to $1 million in residual.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Good Lord. So
Yes.
now, so if someone was interested in this, like, is there a website or how would someone find out more information? Because is this full time, do part
You
time?
could
How do
go ahead, finish.
Oh no, no, no. I was saying,
Oh,
like, is
I'm
it full
excited. So
time,
I'm
part
sorry,
time, and
I'm
you feel
excited.
like it? Look.
Yeah, so I get excited when I get to talking about money, and I get excited when I can, offer other people to be able to make money. So with it, you could go to freedompath.com/ Requita Nicole.
Okay.
And you're able to wealth funding. You also able to sell life insurance. That's something that I haven't tapped into yet, but people on my team are offering life insurance to clients and people that needs that service also. So they having people on the credit side while I get you over here with life insurance. A
And now
one-stop
I
shop.
definitely want to get somebody from your team, and I actually do have someone coming up that's going to talk about life insurance, because real estate and life insurance are actually two ways that families who don't look like us have been able to finance their children's education, so they
Mhm.
graduate from college without having student loans, ensuring that their children have a great start when they graduate from college, and often gifting people houses, right? Married couples houses when they get married. So that's, yeah, life insurance can help. So that
Yes.
allows us to leave a legacy as opposed to
Right.
leaving debt.
Generational wealth.
Yep.
And like with life insurance, like I didn't even know life insurance, you could be able to use life insurance while I'm
While
still
you're living.
here.
Yep.
Like walking around every day. People
Hmm.
are using the funds from their life insurance to
Absolutely.
help with real estate and all those things.
Absolutely. So now people here, because we're gonna go back to this business credit thing, right? Because you
Okay.
talked about stacking and things like that. So stacking cards. So many people hear this term business credit and think about like getting, say, like a credit card or getting a loan. Like, how do you educate your clients, or how do you help folks know the difference between good leverage or like good debt versus bad debt, especially in the context of wealth building?
So the way I'm able to help my clients learn about between leveraging bad debt and good debt,
Mhm.
bad debt costs you money.
Okay.
High interest rates, good credit or good leverage, you make money. So that's the difference. Bad credit gonna cost, bad debt gonna cost you money, and good leverage is gonna make you money. So I educate my clients with business credit is not about just getting cards, but it's about using the funding and the material that you're getting access to. So like buy access, that's a good thing you could do. Start and scale your business. A lot of people don't know, like you get this funding, scale your business, help you grow your business. That is why we have OPM, other people money. We don't know about that.
Right.
In our community, a lot of people don't know that. We was
Hmm.
always taught to go to work, go to school, and work. But in other communities, they know about these things. That's why sometimes we are so far behind. And I'm
Hmm.
still catching up. I'm still learning. Still growing. While I'm able to help others, that's as important to me. So you want to invest in revenue producing activities. So if you're investing in revenue producing activities, if it doesn't multiply, it's not an investment. So you got to be able to understand to teach people how to use business credit is a tool, it's not a trap. Always remember that. Business and funding is a tool and not a trap.
All right, now I love that business credit is a tool. Look, I'm typing that in, y'all. Y'all write that down while I'm typing it.
Yes.
Listen, because all too often in over the years and working with entrepreneurs across the black belt, I've run into a lot of folks who have started businesses and opted not to scale, opted not to get that LLC. It's still operating as sole proprietorship and things like that, thinking that if I do this now, here comes the IRS or here comes these other entities that may be after wanting a part of my income, but not realizing that it actually does open up a whole different level
Yes.
of access to what you said, OPM, other people's money, right?
Yes.
For you to scale your business.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. So I am interested in finding out, for someone who is working, let's say full-time job, working a wage job, and maybe side hustling, right? What is the realistic next move like this quarter, right? People, honey, it's November. We're gonna rapidly, we'll be in December in 2 weeks. So that's the end of the year. People start doing vision boards, and this is what I want to
Mhm.
see, and this is what I want to do. But let's say by March, right? First quarter of 2026. What is a realistic next move that someone who is working a wage job could do to begin shifting from wage to wealth, through business credit or funding, or by even joining your network of brokers?
Well, to start my network of brokers, I'm just going to start with that first.
Okay.
You can start business, a whole business for 289. What they do that at? 289. You can start a whole business, an
Okay.
income producing business while you work on your credit for free. It's millions of people out there that doesn't have a credit score between that's over the 700 limit. Millions. And people are still scared to this day to talk about credit.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to have the knowledge to and be willing to learn, because if not, you're gonna still be in the same spot, just working a 9 to 5, which nothing is wrong with that. But realistically, a powerful setup is to establish a structured business.
Okay.
I'm saying like open your first business credit account, whether you want to do it as a side hustle or starting fresh, or if you want to do full time, fund you can fund your business and grow it to outperform your full time job. So like this quarter, you'll move into like a simple get position, structure first, funding next, and then leverage forever.
Okay.
So I mean, like you want to structure your business first, and then get funding for your business, and then you want to leverage your business to make profit off it forever. You don't want to keep open. That's why, like back when I started my sweet honey business, I didn't have the knowledge of credit when I started that business, but we was in survival mode because it was COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody started their entrepreneurship, and I wish it could go back to that, like where people actually got out here and hustled and made money, and they was able to live off. And those what they had then, like they were talking about PPP, all those options is still open for you to get. Third, I just funded a business in my city in Selma
Oh, wow.
for $48,000.
Okay.
So I was able to help. I was so proud of that. I was able to
Yeah.
help a business in my hometown.
Mm-hmm.
So that really, so it's the money is still out there. She was able to get that money the next day within 24 hours.
Wow. Wow. So
So
if I am, let's say, a full-time cosmetologist, or I'm a full-time, I may be a teacher. Let's use that because that really is a full-time
mhm.
job. I because you can't set your own hours as a teacher. I'm a teacher. That's my full-time job. I am considering, or I've been baking cakes on the side. Let me say that I've been baking cakes, and I want to take that cake baking business to the next level. You said structure my business. I want folks to like be very clear in what you're helping them to do, right? So what's the first step when it comes to structuring my business?
so what you want to do is you want to come up with your business name,
Okay.
and you want to go to what is the Alabama.
The Secretary of State.
Yes, and you want to look up the name, make sure your name is available. What I like to do, I like to go on Facebook, make sure the name is not duplicated on there. I like to go to Instagram, and then I will go to GoDaddy. I use GoDaddy to get my
Okay.
domain. So I will check and see. So if my cake business name is Requita Cakes, I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
go on there and I'm gonna type in Requita Cakes to make sure it's available. So
Okay.
I want everything to be the same across the board. That's what I like to do. I like to make sure my Facebook name, I like to know, like for my Instagram name and my domain, I want all my information the same across the board. So you're gonna go to GoDaddy. You're
Okay.
gonna purchase you a domain from GoDaddy, and you're gonna purchase you a email from GoDaddy.
Mm-hmm.
So once you do that, you got your business name and you have your domain. So you're gonna go and get your business address. You could Google business address, virtual addresses.
Okay.
You could go on there, get your business addresses, and get your address. Now you want to come to me, come to Rakita, and
Yeah.
get your LLC.
Okay.
So you have your business address already, you have your business email, you have your website, and you already, you making your Facebook information because you posting from your page. So you can make groups and stuff like that on Facebook or Instagram. A lot of people need to take heed of Instagram. Facebook is about people you know.
Mm-hmm.
Instagram gonna tap you into another community where people everywhere can
Mm.
know who you are.
Okay.
So we should have did this live too on Instagram. But
I know, right?
Instagram is a whole different ballgame. You want to know how those businesses be going blowing up? Instagram, but you got to be consistent on Instagram. But back to that. You want to go get you got your email, you have your website, you have your LLC now because you came to me and I got your LLC for you. And now you want to get your EIN, and now your business is structured. After that, what you could do is you could get business startup. Most time when you go to the bank, they only gonna give you a line of credit because you don't have 2 years of tax returns.
Okay.
So they're gonna give you a line of credit. But with my company, Freedom Path, we have business startup funding.
Okay.
So it could be a new business, but you got to have at least a 680 credit score. If you don't have a 680 credit score, you could enroll into my program for 189 and $99 a month until you get that 680. And I'm going to teach you how to get that 680. So you not only get negative things removed off your credit. So you could be at a 600, you could get trade lines added to your credit to help build your credit. So when you get to that 680, you funding ready. So the money that you already making from your cake business, you gonna be putting that into your business bank account. So your business bank account you could be showing revenue in your business bank account while you working on your credit. So therefore, now you getting funding for your business. You funding ready after you get a 680 for your business.
All right. Now I dropped a lot of that information because y'all, if you hadn't been taking notes, baby, you better check the comments. I'll come back and add more because she just gave us a lot of information, including making sure. I love your approach to checking for the business name, right? Making sure that it's available through the Secretary of State. So no matter the state you're in, whether it's the state of Alabama, the state of Florida, the state of Arkansas, or Washington, right? You can look that up at the Secretary of State's office, find out if that name is available, but not just checking the Secretary of State. Y'all, she told us to check social media too, because you want all of your handles and your web address, checking the GoDaddy or whatever domain provider that you choose to use. Check to make sure that that name is not being used elsewhere, because you want your stuff to be identical. And so that is so key. Lord have mercy. And then if it matters too if we misspelling stuff, because it doesn't necessarily, like, it's harder, I found, with folks that I worked with in the past, to get people to misspell words, right? Mm-hmm. Like if I'm Googling you and I spell out luxury elite solutions, your website is the first thing that literally pops up in that feed. And so, but those words are spelled correctly. But if you spelled elite like ELEET, like you, it may look cute, but you want people to find you. So we are excited about that, and making sure that you get your business email, set up your social media pages, and then reach out to Miss Requita at Luxury Elite Solutions to go ahead and get your LLC and all of those things set up. Y'all, this is some great information. If you know somebody who needs this information, make sure you are tagging them. You're sharing this video on social media. We will go back and get this up on Instagram. So you host events like Wealth and Wine. You were just in Atlanta at a huge event about financial literacy. Like, how do you use events, or how do you view events as a part of your ecosystem to building wealth? What can someone attending events like Wealth and Wine expect to gain beyond networking?
So with our event that we had in Atlanta, it was about education, just your environment and elevation. So you're going to learn about credit. You're going to learn different ways to establish making multiple income. Also, you're able to make income. So we're telling you about our business. You get real conversations. You get accountability partners. You're able to be in a room with winners, people that see your vision and want to be able to go in a direction. You'll be able to get in the room where the direction you want to go. That's where you'll be having that path set above in front of you with people that's in our community, that in our business. You'll get clarity on your next steps. So if you have any questions, you can ask. You get exposure. Also. So when people, leave from in the room with us, it's not about just the highlight of Wealth and Wine. You able to get in the rooms with 6 and 7 figure earners and be able to ask them, how did you get here? Was this reliable, and how was you able to build a business doing it? So you're able to ask questions. It ain't no question. Like, you ask any question you like. We had on the lineup, we had Mr. Kent Williams. He's a realtor in South Carolina and North Carolina. You had Deandra Thompson. She's a realtor in North Carolina. We had Miss Letitia Taylor. She's a realtor in Atlanta. We have different people in our organization that are realtors that are able now is ready to help you purchase your home. I work hand in hand with realtors. We had Dr. Colvin. She's in Atlanta area too. And we have several individuals that was in the room with us that able to help you just as well as myself, that get you to the next level that you want to go. So I'm not where I want to be at, but I'm headed in that direction because I'm staying consistent. I am have faith in God to be able to lead my business to where I want to go, and I'm going to keep going.
Amen. Listen here. She is in the room, y'all. She's giving us great information. This is Mrs. Requita Brewer, Requita Nicole, if you are checking for her on social media. Want to ask you one last question, and that's about how you define success. Like, how do you define success in a way that goes beyond revenue, but that includes legacy, wealth mobility, and generational wealth?
Oh, so I define success in a vision. As far as, you got to have a vision,
Mm.
you got to set goals.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be delusional. You got to believe in yourself. If nobody else believe in yourself, you got to believe in yourself. Even when you haven't a step set made those goals, you got to be able to keep going. So
Mm-hmm.
I define success as far as not money. Define success as being able to just keep going in life and take care of your family. You have your kids and whoever that it means something to you. You able to be able to provide for them not only money but love, commitment, listening, and being able to put God first in anything that you do. So that is my way of defining success, because I want to be able to not only, like I said, been saying the whole night, be able to make money, but I want to be able to leave a name for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I leave here, my kids be like, my mama, she did this, my mama did that, she was able to do this. And I'm just an all-around person. Like, I want to be able to establish things and build that generational wealth for my kids. So I got started late, but I didn't stop. I didn't
Amen.
stop.
Amen. And that is so important. Girl, you have given us a lot to think about, a lot to grow on, right, on this Wealth Building Wednesday. And I just really want to thank you again for being so open and so honest and really just putting the information out here so everybody can understand that we are literally leaving money on the table. When
Yes.
we are not investing in ourselves. One of the things that you just said is to believe in yourself. And there's a really famous, well, he was a baseball player and a football player, and he's now a coach, a college coach, Deion Sanders, who says, I believe.
Right.
When he initially, I think even at Jacksonville State he did it, but certainly at Colorado there was a whole line of clothing that they had with just those two words, I believe.
Mm,
And so want to thank you for encouraging folks to believe. Like, we've got to
yes.
believe in ourselves. So when we set those goals and we believe in ourselves, that we can really start to build forward, that we can build our way out of whatever situation,
Mhm.
y'all, whatever situation we
Right.
may be in, we can build our way out of that. So thank you so much for
Yes.
taking time out. We have had some members of your team and supporters all in the chat. Listen, y'all, make sure you share this video because there are so many nuggets of great information that Miss Nikita Nicole has dropped today. It's amazing. Lord have mercy. In
Yes.
just 39 minutes, all the stuff that
Yes.
you
And I want to shout out my team. I want to thank y'all for
Yes.
joining in. And then, like, if you're in Selma, I have Kayla Molette that is on my team that's in Selma. I have Kim Eaton,
Mhm,
Kimberly
mhm,
Marks. She's
mhm.
in Prattville, so she's from Selma. So that is her hometown. So she's on
Yes.
my team. And what we're doing, we have Ashley Savage, that is on our team. What we're trying to do is we're trying to put together something next month
Okay.
where I want to be able to. I know Selma have like a lot of tax companies, and I want
Mhm.
to put together where you have like a financial hub.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that is my goal. I've been trying to connect with them, but I want to be able to keep your doors open 24/7 all year
Mm,
round.
yeah.
So if you have someone in the community may need their credit fixed, they could pay for credit repair up to a year for $9.97. You get a year, that's a whole discount. You could pay for your services with them. You could come in and get your LLCs. You could come in there, go in their doors and get funding. You could get personal loans. We even have a credit attorney for free
Oh,
that
wow.
will go after people that are, if you get your check garnished,
Mhm.
we help you. If you have creditors that's coming trying to sue you, we help you for free.
Okay.
All you have to do is when you sign up, upload those documents and you get that for free. So we have a lot of services. And it's like I tell people, you are able to help people while you help yourself. So you could have a 500 credit score and join my team and be able to work on your credit for free while you help others because you learn and you get in that community so you can set yourself up and reach every goal that is possible.
All right, y'all. She has made it plain and laid it out there for us. So it's up to us to take the steps necessary to help make ourselves, yeah, financially free. Freedom
Mhm.
is literally it starts with free, but it's not free. Freedom is not free. And so we've got to work, right? We got to put some sweat equity into it and investment. And so again,
Right.
I want to thank you for joining us. This has been another successful and powerful Wealth Building Wednesday. Again, TRHT Selma brings you this broadcast every single Wednesday. TRHT Selma is the Black Belt Community Foundation and Selma Center for Nonviolence coming together to make sure that we are sharing the truth, talking and making sure that we are experiencing racial healing and that we walk into transformation. We're here because the wealth gap in America won't close itself, but our consistent informed action can close it for our families and our communities. A huge thank you again to Mrs. Requita Brewer, Requita Nicole on social media, for tonight's insights. Thank you so very much. And remember, y'all, that wealth grows when you take the next step, even if it's a small one. Let's keep learning. Let's keep moving. Let's keep building. See y'all
Yes.
next Wednesday.
Bye.